Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the city of Axum, the capital of the Christian kingdom of the same name. Well, it's spelled a bit differently. It can be spelled either A-X-U-M or A-K-S-U-M, but we'll speak more about them a little bit later. We will, of course, be going to war with them soon. But right now, we have Arcadius, who's basically just hanging out here in Sirmium. I'm going to move him around here, so he's in a position to defend Salona from Illyria, if that is to happen. Alright, this fellow down here by Axum, what we are going to do is we are going to... I want to get my allies involved here. Now, they start off as Eastern Christian, but unfortunately, they have now turned into minor religions. Where did I see that? Ah, yes, minor religions. So, they are rapidly deteriorating in their appreciation towards us. Heck, everybody is, really. The whole world pretty much hates us, and the reason they give, for the most part, is cultural aversion. Not much I can do about that. But we're going to make it happen. Actually, I was already where I wanted to be. Armenia is starting to dislike us. But Axum. Axum's actually more powerful than Armenia, interestingly enough, despite being only 2 provinces.
I will be a patient audience for your speech. Sure that you come to deliver a profitable message.
Well, it's not going to be that profitable, dude. I'm going to... We have a non-aggression pact, but I don't think declaring war on them... Or actually, yeah, it's condemned by all factions. Let's not do that, then. But how do I break the treaty? Ah, cancel non-aggression pact.
So be it. Look to your own gods for safety.
Alright, so now what I have to do, unfortunately, is I have to wait until time, I guess, runs out such that we don't get a negative diplomatic repercussion for attacking them. So we'll just hang out in Baroness. Alright, good. And now we have Kartli, who is attacking our client kingdom of Lazica. Now, Kartli, you would think that we should be able to take them out without any trouble whatsoever. But you would be wrong. This army here has a number of what are called Persian bowmen, who are very impressive troops. They can outrun our infantry, all the while shooting at them. So they're very difficult people to fight. We're going to go up here and just try to goad them into attacking us such that our allies can assist us. And we'll see if that works. And that's this turn. So Axum was a northern Ethiopian Christian kingdom. It was actually around for a while. It started in 100 and ended about 940 AD. They adopted Christianity in the 4th century, about 100 years prior to when this game starts. Although obviously in the game now they've given it up. Prior to that, they were occasionally pagan and occasionally Jewish. They were a major player in trade around the world. They were a midpoint between the Roman Empire and India. The Red Sea, basically, was a huge trade port area. They were important for ivory, gold, iron, and salt. That was their main exports. For some fun trivia, Axum was also legendarily the birthplace of the Queen of Sheba from the Bible, and also the place where supposedly the Ark of the Covenant ended up. Another interesting fact about Axum is they were the first state ever to mint coins with the Christian cross on them. Okay, someone's trying to misdirect our army, and Kartli is just minding their own business. They're aware they can't take on both of us. Our ally is content to just sit. I thought there was some way you can kind of instruct your ally, like set a war target, but I'm not seeing that. So, what we really need is more cavalry in this force to take out those bowmen. I wonder if there are mercenary cavalry we can recruit. Oh, and how? We have Persian mounted bowmen. That's not really what we need. We can't recruit the steppe lancers. We can recruit the steppe raiders. And Persian mounted warriors. Wow, those guys are cheap, so they must not be that good. Well, actually, these guys just must be great, these steppe raiders, because they're really expensive. Let's just go with 3 units of these guys. And I guess for one turn, it won't hurt to get these guys. So that's going to cost us a ton of money in upkeep, but hopefully not for very long. And we'll get a bit more brazen. Alright, so they're not letting us actually walk into their territory. Okay, well, we'll sit one more turn and see what happens. I'd like to use these guys as soon as possible, but fighting them at the walls of their own city is suicide. Alright, we now have Rufinus and our fleet, and there is Attila. Let's get close to them as best we can. And it looks like Illyria went away. But now we have the Quadians coming back to Sirmium. I want to keep Arcadius in Sirmium as long as I can, because he's the only thing keeping the place from falling apart. In fact, if we have some money now, we should probably repair it. Or convert it, I should say. Alright. Excellent. We had a ton of money. I guess I went last turn without actually spending any money. That was dumb of me.
How can I serve the people of Rome?
Alright, we're just going to hang out. Just go for a walk. Ooh, that was dumb. But no attrition, so that's okay.
We hunger for battle.
Alright, I would like to hire some more good cavalry. We can now make contrary, which are shock cavalry. In this game, melee cavalry are much better than shock cavalry, because the shock cavalry have the charge, and that's great, but they don't have the staying power. Melee cavalry, like the Equites Dalmatae or the Equites Promoti, can stay in the battle a lot longer. Now these guys are medium melee cavalry, and these are light melee cavalry. I think the big difference is that these guys, the Equites Dalmatae,
Fight for Rome.
they have an ability called resistant to fatigue. Whereas these guys are more heavily armed,
Great and glorious thing.
and so they don't have that. I wish... It drives me nuts how... Okay. However, they have standard shot. I think they both do, actually. Yeah, they both do. These guys have the diamond formation, for what that's worth, which I don't know if it's worth anything. But before I start recruiting cavalry, I need to start making some money, and I've been putting it off for long enough. I need agents. Particularly, I need to convert some people to Christianity. So I think Alexandria, I can produce a priest. Spreads religion action, +4 religious influence. That's great. He has public order, so if you want to keep him in one of your provinces, that's great. And he's a curator. Wealth from cultural buildings. Okay, we're going to go with this guy then, the religious spread guy, because that's what we need. Alright. Next turn, we'll move him down. That cost us, well, about 1,000. That's a lot. But what are you going to do?
Ready for battle.
You're just going to hang out.
At once.
Just go around this mountain here.
Ready for orders.
Alright, so we are here in Italia, outside Rome, and the Alans are everywhere, and we're going to take them out.
For death and honor.
Easy battle. Let's refresh our numbers since we're far away from home. And the Alans as a faction have been defeated. Rome is safe for the moment. And we have some new tradition. So integrity +2 when in foreign territory. And replenishment. I think we'll get both in this instance. Okay. So now we move toward Sicily to conquer the island back for the Romans. So with our remaining bit of money, we need to invest in our economy. Primarily, I want to get those workshop buildings wherever I can. A mesa is a good place for one. It doesn't hurt anything at level 1. It just provides me with 375 gold. And if I upgrade them, which I can do, I will have things in place to make up for that. Also, I want to improve my food a little bit because as the climate's changing, we're getting less food. So let's see. I could move up to sheep pens here. That'll give me some money too, and it'll work well with this wealth from animal husbandry, which will also work well with our tabernae. So let's do that. And I think there's not enough money left to invest anymore in my economy. I'll get 5% of that back in terms of interest, but that's not very good. 5% is really difficult. I might be better suited just to recruit some cavalry. This guy can then move them over to the east. And we can get rid of those mercenaries. That's actually a good idea. We'll do that. That's not what I want to do, though. Oh, you know what, though? Shoot, he's outside of the town. Well, we'll just wait on that. And Vindonius Moose. You are a governor of Asia, it looks like. You don't need this. But tax rate, definitely. We'll get you that. And how about more public order, less corruption? Alright, excellent. So in this period, Axum dominated not only East Africa, but also the southern Persian Gulf, what is now today Yemen. And they were kind of an empire in that sense because they had political influence spanning far beyond their borders, which even their borders were quite large. They remained strong, actually, until the rise of the Islamic powers, because they eventually were isolated from their other Christian kingdoms, especially when Egypt fell to the Caliphate. However, they maintained their Christianity, and they maintained on through about 940, around the 10th century, where they were conquered or usurped, actually, from within by... Stories kind of vary. In some cases, it's a Jewish queen by the name of Judith, or Judith, and other times it's a pagan queen from the south. Okay. Compulsory levy. Research this technology. We could do that. New tactics. Alright, so I have 5 turns. Actually, I don't think I'll be able to make it, because it'll take 10 turns to get there. And the mission wants me to do it. How do I get those missions again? The mission wants me to do it in 9 turns. So that's 1 turn less. What would it get me? Ooh. Research rate plus 20 for military developments. That is huge. That is humongous. I'm going to switch over to this. I have to. That's a huge bonus. Alright, so I saw the Huns here. For some reason, they're here in Asia Minor. That makes me a little nervous. Their relationship with us is neutral but improving, especially because the gift we gave them. And our military action against the Alans they're really happy with. So, I am very confused. not sure why they're doing this. But it makes me nervous. I will allow them, however, to stay there for right now. What can I do? Nothing.
We hunger for battle.
Rufinus is going to come down here to Crete. Keep an eye on these guys. They may go for Rhodes again.
We still have a good wind.
Well, they can't quite get there, it looks like. So they can only get to Crete, which is walled. So I think we're in good shape there. Okay. Ah, our priest. Let's move him down here. It's going to take him a while, it looks like. Arcadius. Holy moly. Look at all these Quadians. We have their king. And then we have these guys who are suffering from attrition.
To your duties, men.
Alright, we'll just wait them out. We'll see what they do. If they go... I don't think they can go past me, but if they do, we'll be there to stop them. And if they go against Demavia, we'll be there to stop them. Let's let them suffer a bit from attrition.
We hunger for battle.
Okay, you guys are just gonna... Wow, you're suffering from attrition too. Weird. Oh, because you're in the desert, probably, yeah.
At your command. Commander?
Ah, yes. You've gained a level, and as you should. Fatigue rate, fine. Morale plus 10, but only when on our own territory. And armor plus 5. That's fine, I guess. This would give them more melee defense. Replenishment. Recruitment cost. Corruption we don't really care about. Cavalry, he only has 1 cavalry unit, so that's not that important. So we'll go... these two, I guess. And we'll move down as far as we can.
Beginning my journey for Rome.
These guys don't move very far, I'll tell you that.
What does Rome require of me?
And these guys still don't want to take the bait. Here's what I'm going to do.
We take this settlement for Rome.
I'm going to siege the settlement. Then break it.
Retreat.
Oh, that didn't work.
Ready for orders.
I thought maybe he'd stay next to the settlement.
Besieging
Let's
the
siege it, and let's just build a token ladder. He's probably going to sally out and attack me, which is what I want.
We take this settlement for Rome.
Oh, but we're suffering. Well, we have no other choice. There's nowhere else we can stay that we won't suffer attrition. So, that's... oh, that's terrible, though. Look at that. Holy moly. Alright, well, what are you going to do? What can you do?
How can I serve the people of Rome?
Alright, so with this turn's bounty of funds, we are going to not upgrade the church, not upgrade the reservoir. Can we upgrade any of the border towns up here such they have better garrisons? We can. Marcianopolis. And should I do Tremontium or should I do Viminacium? Let's do Viminacium first. Alright. Excellent. Pretty happy with that. So another problem that Axum had to face, however, was climate change. And basically the erosion of the soil. See, this area in East Africa right now is kind of a barren, deserty area. But back in this time period, it was much more fertile. And over time, the river would erode the soil and things became pretty bad. And this was rough for them because they had a pretty large population. So that, combined with incursions from the Islamic powers, caused them to move their capital from Axum up into the hills and away from the coasts. And they basically just managed to shrink over time. The kings of Axum were styled as King of Kings. That was their name.
Between our lands will now end. Your merchants are as unwelcome as your coin.
Wow, Armenia doesn't want to trade with us anymore. That's weird. The Axumites also owned slaves. Oh, wow. Alright, here it comes. We expected this. This episode might go a little over. Actually, they're expected to be well ahead of me because the garrison's helping. Yeah, these Persian bowmen are monsters. And they have so many of them. Their infantry is nothing that great. Their horse archers are pretty bad. I'm going to wisely retreat from this one.
finding shelter.
So they declare war on us, but they don't actually want to come out after us. That's really weird. Oh, so what's left today of Axum is most notably these giant stone monoliths called stelae. And the biggest ones are about 33 meters tall, or about 100 feet. And what they are is they're markings for the tombs of emperors, nobles, important people, and they have false windows and doors carved onto them. The modern city of Axum, and I find this really interesting, is built on top of the ruins of the old capital, and fully 95% of it has not been explored. It hasn't been dug into archaeologically. So who knows what we could find there? Probably a treasure trove of coins and different artifacts. Probably because the area is so unstable politically that nobody's really funded a big organization to go in there, an operation I mean, to go in there and search into it, which is really too bad. Okay, everybody's completed their term in office. So you're a master of foot, that's fine. Eutropius, you have a lot of stars for just being a governor. Rufinus, hopefully will gain some stars by being an admiral. Do we have any generals up here with 4 stars? Just, no, this guy only has 3 stars. And he can't be anything. Interesting. Alright, well, Eutropius, you're pretty ambitious. I don't like you. So I'm going to make this guy a master of soldiers. And this guy. And then you can be a count. You can be nothing. Okay. Oh, right, because you're this guy. Come on, Marcus. And that's it for guys. We have these random guys, but I don't want to give them anything. So, Rufinus, congratulations, your account. Alright, the Huns are in force, but they seem to be leaving. The Quadians are just hanging out. Are they raiding the land? What are they doing exactly? Okay, he's fortified, so he's expecting me to come and attack him.
At your command.
Which is kind of silly, because there's no way I'm going to do that. I'm not going to throw Arcadius' life away.
I want hourly patrols.
Looks like the Italians move south. We will follow.
The sea beckons.
It appears we could travel a bit further than they can, so that's good.
At your command.
I wonder, I guess we can wait one more season before declaring war on these guys.
I will journey to the ends of the world for Rome.
I hate how they keep going in the water. Stop that.
What does Rome require of me?
Go around the hill again.
Advance. At your command.
And we're just about to get into Sicily.
I'm afraid we cannot.
So next turn, or next episode rather, we'll probably be seeing that.
Ready for battle. I'm afraid we cannot.
This stinks. We are refreshing.
Make haste, men.
So let's just fortify.
You there, get to work.
And our priest. Okay. So he's getting close to where we want him to be. And I think that's all we're going to do this turn, folks. I hope you enjoyed talking about Axum, even though it's not necessarily part of the Roman Empire. I think it's part of the world that we don't really learn much about, and I found their history fascinating when I looked it up, and the fact that they were so large. In fact, some people even considered them at the time to be the 4th greatest empire in the world after China, Persia, and the Roman Empire. That might have been a little enthusiastic, just like this fellow here, who's really enthusiastic. Of course, he's part of the Warriors of Fortune, so maybe he just feels fortunate. But this is a really interesting historical empire that we don't really talk about much. And they were quite wealthy and quite powerful for a time, and they projected that power very far. And they were a good trading partner of the Romans. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Marcus Aurelius, Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.